You are Locked On Broncos POSTCAST, powered by Mile High Sports, part of Locked On Sports Denver, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
It is your Locked On Broncos POSTCAST. Hope everyone in Broncos country is doing well out there as the Denver Broncos, or should I say the fourth quarter Broncos, once again, somehow, some way, despite an up and down performance, more down than up in regards to the offense today, manage a way to win this game as the Denver Broncos take down the Houston Texans in walk-off fashion. Your final score, 18-15. The Denver Broncos now improve to 7-2 on the year. And let's count them. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 wins in a row for the Denver Broncos. They are streaking right now, folks, and playing some really good football as we get into the meat of the NFL season. A win over the Bengals, a win over the Eagles, the reigning defending Super Bowl champions, an ugly win against the Jets, a thrilling come-from-behind win against the Giants in the fourth quarter with 33 unanswered points. The Cowboys, they destroyed them last week 44-24. And this week, again, back to the fourth quarter heroics for Bo Nix and the offense. They take down the Houston Texans 18-15. The Denver Broncos are absolutely rolling right now with 6 consecutive victories. Hope everyone is doing well out there in Broncos country. Do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button as well. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Broncos POSTCAST. And this episode is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Could have got a nice little live price on the Broncos when they were down late in that game. Obviously, they come through in this one. But plenty to unpack here tonight. And let me say this as well. I believe, we'll see if it happens next week or in the not-so-distant future, the postcast format will be changing, and I think for the better. We're going to get some new voices in here, former Bronco potentially joining the show, our guys Cody and Sayre, so stick around for that as well. Been a pleasure going solo, but we're going to up the ante here with the Broncos postcast moving forward this season, so stay tuned for that and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, that way you guys don't miss anything here on the channel. But yeah, man, a win is a win, and you know, my dad, who's not a Denver Broncos fan, is texting me in the middle of this game, you know, as they're going on that final drive with Will Lutz nailing the field goal. And, you know, he's like, the Broncos are going to win this game. And he adds after that, I believe it was after they ended up winning the game, this is a team that finds ways to win games as opposed to lose them. And too many times with the Pat Bowlen brain trust after his unfortunate passing, long live Mr. Pat Bowlen, you know, it's not a shot at them directly, right? But like that organization was kind of in flux for a while there. And this is the type of game that, you know, under Vic Fangio, under Vance Joseph as the head coach, for sure under Nathaniel Hackett, that the Denver Broncos frankly just lose more often than not. And you're seeing this season with Sean Payton, year 2 of Bo Nix, this defense being as stout as it is, they managed to win these games. And look, it wasn't pretty, but just look at the last couple of – let's just take the last 3 games as a sample size for the Denver Broncos here real quick, right? Because it's been 3 different types of wins for Denver. Okay, you come from behind to beat the Giants with the 33 points there in the fourth quarter. That was absolutely electric, right? So that's a nice come-from-behind victory in just absolutely epic fashion. Then you take care of business with the style points last week against the Dallas Cowboys, winning 44-24. And then today, kind of like the flip of the Giants game, yes, it was a fourth quarter comeback, but it was a defense-first type of win for the Denver Broncos here on the road, which is more important for a Texans team that kind of had their backs against the wall. And, you know, let's get this out of the way as well. C.J. Stroud obviously knocked out of that game in the middle of the first half. Chris Abrams-Drain, I believe, was the cornerback who kind of it looked a lot worse in real time than it actually was. And you saw that, I think that the arm of Chris Abrams-Drain ended up knocking the head back of C.J. Stroud. But, like, when you're watching it in real time, you kind of thought helmet to helmet, lowering of the shoulder, something along those lines. Didn't appear to be a dirty hit from Chris Abrams-Drain. And unfortunately, C.J. Stroud is knocked out of this game. It would have been interesting. Would have been very interesting to see if the Denver Broncos win this game if C.J. Stroud is ending up, is able to go the rest of the way and play the game for Houston. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. You know, Zach Allen for the Broncos got banged up at one point. Obviously, the Denver Broncos were down Pat Surtain today, as well as Marvin Mims. We saw P.J. Locke in the street close there. So it's not like the Broncos are flawless on the injury report either. So they figure out a way to win a game. on the road without Pat Surtain. Like I said, Zach Allen did return to the game, was banged up at one point. And really, you just can't be more thrilled with the performance that you saw from Denver today on defense, man. I mean, just different guys all over the place, swarming the quarterback. I mean, looking at some of the stats here for the Houston Texans, I mean, this was if you love defensive football, this was the game for you. Both teams had 15 first downs in this one. The Texans actually ran they ran 11 more plays than the Denver Broncos in this game, 72-61, and the yardage wasn't great. Neither team eclipsing 300 total yards of offense. The Broncos had 271, and the Texans had 268. And so put that in perspective. The Texans run 11 more plays than the Denver Broncos and finish with less yardage total than the Denver Broncos on offense, who obviously did not have a perfect day on offense by any stretch of the imagination. But that just speaks to the overall dominance, frankly, of this Denver Broncos defense right now. I mean, they were absolutely on point from start to finish in this game. Talanoa Hufanga doing his thing, making big plays, big tackles, breaking up passes. Alex Singleton, someone that loves to get picked on in this town from time to time. Once again, I feel like more often than not, he's leading the team in tackles. He led the team in tackles today as well with 10 of them, 10 total tackles, 4 of them solo. Talanoa Hufanga, who we just mentioned, had 9 total tackles in this game, 5 of them being solo. Everybody getting involved. Dre Greenlaw with some big defensive stands out there. He had 8 tackles. Chris Abrams-Drain, next man up mentality, starting in place of Pat Surtain. He had 7. Riley Moss, another guy who likes to get picked on in Broncos country from time to time. A couple of big breakups today from Riley Moss. So, at the end of the day, man, you just love what you're seeing from this Denver Broncos defense as a unit. Not just the defensive line, not just the secondary, the linebacking core with Dre Greenlaw. It is a collective approach from this Denver Broncos defense, and they showed out today. I mean, Zach Allen with the sack, Andrea Tillman with a half sack, Malcolm Roach with a half sack, Jonathan Cooper, you get a sack, right? Everybody, 4 total sacks today on the afternoon for the Denver Broncos, which is obviously going to put you in a position to win games, even when your offense is not cooking like people want it to. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Denver Broncos moving forward. But frankly, they've taken advantage of this. I don't want to call it a soft spot in their schedule because you played the Eagles, right? Dallas, they're on offense. You kind of neutralize them. Houston, maybe not as good as we thought they would be, but they've taken advantage here. Since that Monday Night Football matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals, the Broncos haven't necessarily played the cleanest football in the world, but they found ways to win even when they're not playing their best, both on offense, like you saw today, like you saw against the Jets, and on defense, like you saw against the New York Football Giants. So that is 6 wins in a row for the Denver Broncos, and they'll turn around quickly here and play on Thursday night at home against the Las Vegas Raiders. So a good opportunity, right? The Raiders are kind of in a world of suck right now. What was that? The Vic Fangio line, I believe it was. So, odds are, the Broncos are going to be the favorite in this game for sure, but you're looking at a potential 7-game win streak for the Denver Broncos before you come back after Thursday Night Football to take on the Kansas City Chiefs, who are currently playing the Buffalo Bills. So all in all, a good win for the Denver Broncos. All right, let's hit a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue along with the conversation. Go ahead and drop some comments, folks. Let me know how you're feeling out there. Are you satisfied with this win? Are you a bit concerned about the offense? What do you want to see from Bo Nix and Sean Payton? Give me your thoughts on the defense. Go ahead and drop those in the comment section. And when we come back, we'll have some fun right here on your Locked On Broncos postcast. Back in just a moment, folks. All right.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends over there at Peloton. Look, folks, it's time to break through the busiest time of the year with a brand new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus that's powered by Peloton IQ. It's Peloton's most elevated technology and equipment yet that gives you real-time guidance, and it gives you endless ways to move, whether you want to work out by yourself or if you want to work out with your favorite instructor, like my personal favorite, Alex Toussaint. He always gets me fired up to tackle the day. And the thing I like about Peloton, it helps me achieve more in less times. They have features that help you plan, stay motivated, track your progress, and Peloton IQ also provides personalized workout plans and recommendations. That's something that I use right now during the busiest time of the year covering the NFL. They plan my workouts for me based on my mood, my vibe, and also my favorite instructors. So make sure you check it out and use it because it also helps you correct your form in real time, and it maximizes your reps. It counts your reps so that you can do it smarter, safer, and more efficient. Let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
And be sure to check out our friends over at Peloton and let them know that Locked On Broncos sent you. Let me also tell you about the fine folks over at Supply House, because when the opening whistle blows on a new repair, get your crew moving forward with Supply House. Order today and see parts on your doorstep tomorrow. Over 280,000 plumbing, HVAC, and electrical items from the most trusted brands in the business. Their real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting projects, while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered. Need parts fast for a project? Supply House has next day delivery. Talk about an absolute game changer. Their Trademaster perks like priority shipping and dedicated support make the whole process so much smoother, guys. Join the free Trademaster program today and score serious perks like priority shipping, lower prices, and dedicated support lines. Visit supplyhouse.com to sign up for free and use promo code SHNFL5. That's SHNFL5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service. And let me also tell you about the fine folks over at FanDuel. Hopefully you bet the Broncos live when they were down, folks. And the NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at bigger payouts, guys. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Be sure to check out our friends over at FanDuel and let them know that Locked On Broncos sent you. All right, welcome on back in to your Locked On Broncos postcast. Hope everyone is doing well out there. Do me a favor, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Broncos postcast. You can also follow me on social media at Media by AP if your heart desires. So we got a comment here. How about them Broncos? How about them Broncos, man? Playing excellent football right now. Winning their sixth straight game, taking down the Houston Texans this afternoon, 18-15. It's also a bit weird to see an AFC matchup between the Broncos and the Texans on Fox. Maybe that's just me, but I always associate, the AFC with CBS, and I associate Fox with the NFC. So, I had it on CBS at first. I'm like, wait, this isn't the Broncos. And I was like, oh, they're on Fox today. So that was an interesting little curveball there. But let's look at some of the stats here for the Broncos on offense. Nothing really going to jump off the page here today, but I think the theme for the Broncos is making plays when it mattered most. Bo Nix not that good today. 18 for 37, 137 passing yards, the 2 touchdowns and the bad interception there from Bo for a quarterback rating of 68.9. So not great from Bo. J.K. Dobbins was fine today, 15 carries for 61 yards. Bo Nix, the second leading rusher in this game, and really the receiving department, not a lot happening today. RJ Harvey, your leading receiver, 5 receptions for 51 yards. Courtland Sutton only had 1 catch, but it was a big one for a touchdown. The first score of the day for the Denver Broncos, so 1 catch for 30 yards for Court. Did have a couple of balls that he probably should have caught at some point throughout the course of this game. Troy Franklin staying involved and active, 4 receptions for 27 yards, including hauling in that critical 2-point conversion play for the Denver Broncos as well. So all in all, it's an ugly, ugly win, but that's what makes you feel good about this Broncos team is, one, they can lean on their defense, and you expect the defense to show up and show out as they have for a majority of this season. But the Broncos also possess some moxie late in games on offense. Despite what's happening for the Broncos in the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, it's almost like when they get to the fourth quarter right now, they're able to kind of flip this switch and lock in. And that's a great championship quality and trait for an NFL team to have. And the Denver Broncos seem to have that right now. Look, I thought Sean Payton was crazy when he was talking about Bo Nix is going to be a top, 3 or 5 quarterback in this league in a year or two. That's not really aging well right now, despite the wins for the Broncos. But also, Sean, came out and said, I've had a handful of teams in my career that I thought that could go out there and win a Super Bowl. And this team, as in this year's Denver Broncos, is one of them. And, with the way that the season started, it didn't really seem that way. Kind of a couple gut-wrenching losses, an uninspiring win against Tennessee. Obviously, the leverage penalty there on the Colts, 17 unanswered points. You lose against the Chargers. But ever since then, everything's coming up Broncos. And, today I think is, again, just another look in the mirror of, Bo Nix and the offense, maybe they don't have it for 4 quarters. But if the defense plays the way that we know they can, the Broncos offense has enough juice in that tank to flip the switch and go out there and win a football game. Big missed field goal as well in this game from the Texans early. Fairbairth, I believe, or Fairbairth, is that his name? Fairbairth? I forget how to pronounce his name. Excuse me there. But a big missed field goal early that ultimately proves to be a difference maker in this game. I mean, Denver went into halftime with 7 points on the board. Scoreless in the first quarter, that touchdown there in the second quarter, no points in the third, and then the 11 points there, 11 unanswered points for the Broncos there in the fourth quarter. So, I see we got a comment here. Don't count us out. I'm learning not to. 100%. And, there was a couple of moments I'm texting with some buddies that are Broncos fans, like, this might be our trap game. I personally believed, and I'm not trying to be a pessimist, more so an optimist of like, the Broncos have been the beneficiaries of some luck recently. That thrilling comeback against Philly, maybe not so lucky, right? But you get a little lucky against the Jets in London because they're a mess. You get very lucky against the Giants. I mean, frankly, I think all Broncos fans put some truth serum in them. They probably tell you they probably had no business winning that game. And, okay, you take good care of business against the Cowboys, but just because of what I've seen from the offense collectively this season, I'm like, they're just due for a loss. Like, that's just kind of the vibe. And they've proved me wrong, which is a great thing. And again, another game today where they could have lost this game because of how they played on offense. Their defense keeps them in the game. And you get to that fourth quarter, and a couple of nice passes from Bo Nix. There was that one on the third down over the middle, which was critical. And they figure out a way to win the game. And you saw Sean Payton there kind of talking to Will Lutz before the eventual game-winning field goal about, like, right down the middle, knock this thing home. And that's exactly what Will Lutz did. So the Broncos do it again, man. Another fourth quarter win, taking down the Houston Texans 18-15. Again, a quick turnaround for the Broncos on Thursday Night Football, so it'll be a short week, but they do play the Raiders. Let's see if I can get a line for that game. That might be out yet. Or I'm not seeing a line, but it's ESPN's matchup predictor has the Broncos with a 75% chance to win the game. So do with that as you may. What else? What else we want to talk about on the postcast? I think we kind of hit it all, man. I mean, you got to just enjoy it. A win is a win. Any means necessary. Defense is showing up and showing out. Offense is doing their part when they need to. And the Broncos are 7-2. You really can't ask for much more. 4-0 at home. 2 ugly losses early in the year, but they've bounced back and they've played really, really good complimentary football since then. It is going to be interesting at home, November 16th, when they take on the Kansas City Chiefs. And as I'm live here right now, the Chiefs and Bills tied up at 7 apiece at the start of the second quarter. So, there's some interesting games on the schedule for the Broncos, but it's really not that difficult of a schedule the rest of the way. Raiders Thursday night, then you have the Chiefs, then you're at Washington on the 30th of November. I believe that's after the bye. And Washington hasn't been as good as we thought they might be. Then you got the Raiders again. The Packers lost to the Panthers today. Packers are beatable. You have the Jaguars after that who are beatable but competent. Then you have the Chiefs and the Chargers. So, no, you got to feel pretty good about where the Broncos are at right now, sitting at 7-2. I mean, the 2 Chiefs games are probably the ones where you're like, okay, and throwing the Chargers just because they've been a fit. Those are the 3 games remaining on the schedule. You're like, those might be tough for us to win. You could say that about the Packers as well, but I think the Broncos have a chance to win that game at home. Jaguars at home. So we'll see. We'll see. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. Dennis, appreciate you, my friend. Appreciate you as always, hopping in the comment section. But all right, I think that's going to do it for me. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button on your way out the door. Follow me on social media as well at Media by AP. But the Denver Broncos get the job done here today, taking down the Houston Texans. Your final score, 18-15. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy Victory Monday. And we'll talk to you guys on Thursday night for Thursday Night Football between the Broncos and the Raiders. Have a good one, folks.